defensive edge conversation.
Devin, I'm gonna ask you to politely kick off the. Okay, let me set it up for the fans watching. We are pivoting to the 9th overall pick. A lot of Chicago Bears fans forget we have another top 10 pick outside of the number 1 overall pick. We could take a left tackle there. A lot of people want us to take one of these dog wide receivers there. We looking at the D lineman because we got Montez Sweat, and I didn't do my job right. I should have had some Bears total sack numbers for last season. I don't have them, any of that stuff, but we all know we need another D lineman. Whether that's
and we all know that after we got Montez Sweat, those numbers went from in the garbage to somewhat
I think we
decent.
had 2 sacks. 2 sacks halfway through the season.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
That was like embarrassing.
Like 2. It was like 2
Like,
sacks.
Your D-line coach deserves to be fired, even though he ain't out there playing. He need to go, and everybody that was contributing to that. So we're gonna talk about these D-line prospects that the Bears can potentially take at 9. At 9, so this is a first round top 10 talent. Devin, if you want to kick us off, you could choose any of the guys we got on the list. Before you jump into it, I will play the clip. You'll introduce him. I'll play the clip, and then you're gonna talk about him.
So the first guy that I looked at was Latu out of UCLA. And
Latu.
I think it's Laiatu.
I just love saying his name too. Like
me too.
It's gonna be one of those ones that the fans will just gravitate towards. I feel like kind of like Puka out in LA. He has a fun name to say for the Rams. Yeah. I feel like we'll just gravitate towards that.
What's his name?
Minka.
No, from back in the day, the Steelers.
Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, Troy Polamalu. I feel like just that field. He got the Jason Momoa kind of thing going for him. So,
yeah.
And he I think he fits. I think he fits really, really well too, honestly. But
Laiatu Latu is a dog, and we got some clips on Laiatu Latu. Here you go. Watch him work. That's that man right there. Like, the way he rushed the quarterback is different from all of these guys on this list. Number 15.
I just like his length. Look how long he is. Look at his arms. How long.
I like his use of hands.
Yeah, that's what
the hands. Just oh my God.
Push it. He cross blocks him and
that's Caleb right there.
Caleb right there. He know who that is. Caleb.
I think
Caleb probably.
I think I saw somebody say something about that particular play. Was that if you didn't have somebody like Caleb Williams back there, that would have been a sack.
Yeah.
So
like, look at him beat double teams.
That's
crazy.
He gets through.
In them hands. Look, his hands he probably got the best hands in this draft for a D lineman purposes.
Yeah. I mean, what is he? I think I had him right down here.
Somebody want to go over his measurements? His height,
6'5". I read this. John 6'5".
I knew I said that.
49 total tackles, 28 solos. I mean, what is 13 sacks, 2 interceptions. Pac-12 defensive player of the year. That's the Pac-12 defensive player of the year. He cover, he rush, he kind of honestly, like, if I had to bring a Bear into mind, he gives me that Urlacher feel, like he's going to be everywhere. You can
Urlacher, that's interesting.
Because Urlacher was a free safety down here in Mexico. And he had that coverage.
This is an edge rusher.
I know. That's the dynamic. Okay. Victor Wembanyama is 7'7", but he shoots threes.
I feel you.
You see what I'm saying? Let's not take a talent. Like, we want to talk about talent. We would just give it. We can't put him in you could put him, you could bring him out. I mean, you could do whatever. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's that
versatility wise, yeah.
Versatile, like you could put him at free safety and he would probably dominate. Too. You know what I mean? And this is a guy we're gonna have on the edge.
He ran a 4.6 40 time, but as we all know, D lineman, the 40 time is not that important. What I like to look at when it comes to D lineman is the 10-yard split. Your 10-yard, you know what I mean? He had a 1.6 10-yard split, one of the best for the D lineman in this draft, which was great. Another thing I like to look at with D linemen is their arm length. Just like, well, shit, linemen in general are offensive linemen too. Y'all remember Peter Skoronski from last year? He was a dog tackle in college, but his arms was way too short for the league. The Titans drafted him, moved him to guard instantly because you can't have those little ass arms. But 32 inches and 32.5/8 for his arm length. That's one of the longest. It's another dude on this list that got some crazy long arms. But Laiatu Latu, what else y'all got on him? I got a few things on him, especially the most important thing. He didn't play in 2020 and 2021 due to a neck injury. He was forced to retire. You want to elaborate on that, Devin? I'll let you kick this one off if you want to elaborate on his neck injury. Or
yeah, I was just gonna say that, like, I was reading about that, and it looked like he'd made the decision to retire, and so that does kind of bring up some concerns with health, because neck injuries are serious things. If you if you get a neck injury in the season, you're not out for a game or two like you might be with like a twisted ankle or something like that. You're out for the season, and in a position like an edge rusher, especially one we take so highly in the draft at 9, you kind of want to make sure that they're going to be able to play for you throughout the year. Yep. I think one of the things I was watching said that, and I don't necessarily know if it was about him, but it was just about the position in general. When it comes to linemen on either side, the best ability is durability. And so when it comes down to that, I can see some concerns, but I did see a lot of positives. One of the things that I saw that was that he's considered an above average run defender as well, compared to the other two top ones that I looked at. Sir. They were below average in that run defending. And now the Bears were decent when it came to run defending. So I feel like it wouldn't be as negative of an impact getting somebody that is below average, but getting somebody that's above average in run defending to pair with Montez Sweat would definitely be a big improvement to our defense that we've already been building fairly decently over the last year or so.
I agree. He's a dog in the run game, and a lot of these new age pass rushers, kind of like people shooting, kids shooting threes. All they care about is getting to the quarterback. They thirsty for sacks, and they forget they can hand that ball off and run, and run right by you. So, he's great at stopping the run. You got anything else on Laiatu Latu, Wes?
Man, like I said, I kind of ran through everything. I do like that he can, do both as in a sense. You know what I mean? Like I said, I think I can't say. I just got that feeling that like he probably has the best field vision, it seems, out of all of the top, prospects we can get at this position. And it shows in the way he plays and the way he goes, and like I said,
just looking at that, I don't know if it's slapping those hands away.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because he's so tall or so big. Maybe he can just see over everything. I'm not sure. But I do like I said, I do think he has that fit in our defense, because I know I've seen a lot of we're pulling edges on some, stunt bringing in, a Brisker or having TJ Blitz or something like that. And I would feel safe knowing he was, covering the flat. I feel safe with him over anybody else being out there, being able to track down, running backs in the outfield, running backs in the open and all that kind of stuff. And I think he would fit in a lot. Really well with the way we do defense to, like I said, to help all the other people too. Because I know Brisker and I know Kyler and I know JJ want to get down on that line too.
Yes, sir.
That quarterback.
They definitely like getting in the box.
They like getting down.
Don't leave out Stevenson.
Stevenson. Like I know, I'm saying our defense period, like all our linebackers, we like to get down there on that line and to be able to to show one thing and get into something different and confuse some of these quarterbacks. Like I said, we're trying to see what Love and Purdy's going to be and all this kind of stuff. To confuse them and have that bag of tricks on defense, I think that will be a plus. And I think he would fit the most and fit the best with that kind of scheme.
So Laiatu Latu is definitely, like I told y'all, he was my favorite when I started checking these dudes out. I'm a little lenient. I don't know now. After I finished my research on these dudes, it's kind of a toss up between him and another guy.
There's some good dudes here.
Laiatu Latu, out of UCLA, he transferred from Washington. Washington did not clear him. They forced him to retire because of his neck injury, which is crazy. I mean, the fact that he's back here, he missed two seasons, and now he's potentially a first overall pick. That's great. A senior. He what I got on him is, I think out of all the guys, he has the most NFL ready game. He's most NFL ready. I think the way he plays, he views pass rushing as like an art form. I mean, he's polished all around when it comes to his hand placement. And honestly, that's my favorite about, Laiatu Latu. You see it on this first clip. Look at them hands. I'm going to replay it again. Look at them hands. Like, that is crazy.
Just smacking them away.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and the Bears need another guy on the other side of Montez Sweat. Another thing I got on him is go ahead, Devin.
Mm-hmm. I was just gonna say that I watched a couple of film breakdowns so that I could really get a sense for him as a player. And one of the things that one of them brought up was the fact that, like, he was able to kind of like stop them and make them put pressure on him. And then he'd use his hands to knock them away. And because they have their weight leaning forward, they fall forward. He uses his flexibility to just slip right around them and get to the quarterback.
And they teach you that. When I play ball, they definitely teach you with those big offensive linemen. You got to use their own weight and momentum against them because they be tripping sometimes. He can go inside and outside with his moves. He's not just the edge. You can move him across that line of scrimmage if you need him to go inside, like they do a lot of players in the NFL. Tight ends cannot block this dude. If you're a tight end and they think you about to use a tight end to chip him or block him or whatever, it ain't happening. He eats those tight ends up and spit them out. And yeah, like I said, the biggest issue with him for me is that neck. And I know every team will do a deep dive into that neck injury, which cost him 2 of his college seasons. That's crazy. Moving on. Who we got next?
I will say,
what's up?
Before we move on real quick, I would feel very comfortable if the Bears decided to draft him, knowing that his injury is very well documented. So they did a very extensive medical check and background on him. Because if you go into this knowing that he has that potential medical issues and you still decide to end up drafting him, then I kind of get the feeling that there isn't so much wrong.
Yeah, no, I understand. So sorry, I had something in the kitchen. No, I'm just oh no, I had some technical difficulties. My bad, guys. No, but and that's something that I try not to really worry about like daunting major injuries, and I don't want to seem like oblivious to it. But the way the medical staffs are now, the way doctors are now, the way training are now, I think it's something that we could definitely look into and stay on top of. But as far as trying to make that a red flag, maybe. But for what you're getting and how he's been playing, it could be, great.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like it's dropping his draft capital or potential. I don't see any other teams
No,
like, oh yeah, man,
and
because
it
of that
doesn't
neck
look like
injury.
he's like suffered as far as production.
Correct.
I mean, it'd be different if like he was trying to enter the draft after missing the last 2 seasons. But he came out and played last season and it didn't seem to affect him. So I feel like that's kind of enough for us to know that he's gonna be good.
Yeah, Laiatu Latu was a dog. I mean, like I said, he actually led the nation in tackles for loss. Like we just said, he's the best out of these guys at defending the run. He led the league in tackles for loss. That is with not a sack. It's a run play or some sort of play that's not a sack, and you tackle him behind the line of scrimmage. He's the best. He led the nation in tackles for loss, so that's crazy.
Whether it's screen pass or run play or whatever.
Exactly. That's Laiatu Latu, everybody. Wes, we can't hear you. Go ahead and jump out and then jump back in. It might work. We're gonna move on. Who else we got? We got some guys. I want to go to Dallas, but let's go to Jared Verse.
Okay.
Out of Florida State, transferred from Albany. He actually played tight end for like a season, I think, and he moved. He was a redshirt junior, so that means he basically had a year where he didn't play. He sat out and just developed himself, but it didn't count towards his eligibility. Yeah, exactly. 6'4", 254. Now, remember, we just talked about Laiatu Latu. He's 6'5", 265. Jared Verse is 6'4", 254. So he about an inch shorter and what is that? 10 yards
10 pounds
lighter. 10 yards, 10 pounds, 10 pounds lighter. His 40 time was 4.5. It was a 4.5. Laiatu Latu wearing a 4.6. So Jared Verse is a little faster, but like I said, I don't look at the 40 time for linemen. I don't think it matters. The 10-yard split is what I look at, and they both had a 1.62 10-yard split. So arm length, Jared Verse, his arms are a little bit longer, 33.5 inches. Laiatu Latu had 32 inches. Yeah, I mean, I got some more notes, but I'll let one of y'all jump in on Jared Verse.
If I had to go,
there.
You
oh my God! Hold on.
So you want to go there?
Like Did you just the first play I played? This dude, man, we didn't see Laiatu Latu do any of this on his film just now.
Like I said, this is
his first play. He just, oh my God, man handles dude. Yeah, go ahead and what y'all got on Jared Verse, fellas?
I said talk about Micah Parsons, like just a grown man, like move, look, move, just move. What move? Come on, man. He'll move a school bus. I'm telling you. He's my favorite at the 9. He's my favorite at 9.
Oh, okay.
He's my favorite.
I was gonna ask everybody that.
I like Laiatu as far as like what he can bring to the Bears, but just what I want to see every Sunday, it's my guy right here, dude. Come on now.
Jared Verse.
What are you gonna do if that's on the other side of Montez Sweat? Move. Like I said, just move. Just move. I don't care who's on the offense.
You're gonna get sacked.
Just move like. And our secondary, our linebackers, like our defense. I mean, you talk about fees. Everybody's gonna get paid. All these young defensive backs we just got, Stevenson and all, and just wait. Just get. Look, when you get that big check, take him out to a nice dinner. Look like he like food. He probably want to eat, give him a Rolex or something, because he's gonna cause so many pockets. He's gonna make it so difficult to get that ball out, and when it does come out, it's going to be up in the air. It's not. The time is going to be off. And like I said, our defensive ends, maybe even our linebackers, like our defense is going to like. That's what I'm saying. This is what I was talking about. If we get him, and Caleb has the worst season, these short fields all day long.
Yes, yes.
These are short fields.
That's what helped Mitchell Trubisky in his 2018.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been that good without them short fields. And like I said,
Khalil Mack and them boys.
That's who I ain't gonna put I'm not gonna put the jersey on. But that's what I'm saying. Like just a man. Like you talking about Latu ready for the NFL. I can see that too. Like, it's like he. Come on. They talk about our receivers having a race for 1,000. Let's have a race to 10 sacks each. All right,
I know, right?
You and him a race to 10 sacks. How many times for loss going to get? No solos. If you see me on the move, just give it to me. I'm talking about just crushing pockets. That's my whole take. Like I said, Michael Parsons. When I first seen that first one, I saw that same one. I said, I went and looked at Michael Parsons highlights. Like,
hey, Jared Verse is a man. That's a man. Oh, Devin, what you got on Jared Verse?
I was saying when I was watching this, I like his explosiveness off the line. He just shoots off of that line like a rocket as soon as the ball is snapped, and he knows what he needs to do to get to that quarterback. His flexibility helps him bend around the offensive line, and he seems like he's just on a mission to get there. And so the one thing that I did remember is that his aggression to get to the quarterback sometimes makes it so that when it's a run play, he sometimes is taking poor angles and has to try and get around the offensive line again to get to the running back, which I guess happens a lot if you're that quick at getting to the quarterback and then you see that they've handed it off, then you're kind of behind the ball on that. So I guess if you're going to look at like overall ability on flexibility on all types of plays, Latu might be the guy would want to take, but Verse definitely he gets there and he hits hard. And one of the things I did like about Florida State is that like we would be taking from a winning program. Like they went out there and like I like to look at when we look to draft players, I like to look at programs that have won, especially ones like, for example, like Georgia, Alabama, places like that where they've won for a while. Teams. And not necessarily, but like players that like have been on teams that have a culture of winning. Because unfortunately for the Bears, for at least quite a while now, they haven't necessarily had the culture to win at any cost. And bringing in guys that already have that culture from college, I think it would help to build up that winning mentality here, because I do believe that that's probably played a lot into some of these like close losses, that they just stopped fighting when a team that expects to win would have given it everything they had. Whereas a team that is perfectly, like they had a year when they purposely were losing to get higher draft stock. When you have players that have that mentality one year, it doesn't always just change the next year. It's harder to get them to really buy into, okay, now we're going to win. Because you just told them last year, even if you didn't outright tell them, you kind of gave them the idea that losing is fine. Right. And the fans don't want that. A lot of the players don't want that. And if you bring in players when you draft them from a winning program, like, for example, Florida State, then you really bring in a culture and an air of winning.
Them Florida State fans was mad they didn't get into that playoffs this past year.
I perfectly understand how they felt.
They was pissed.
Like how you going to like leave them out when they won every game?
Every single game.
They couldn't do better than they did.
You can only play who's on your schedule. That's not your fault. So basically, y'all had us set up for failure when y'all made this schedule. Because if we win every game,
I do remember hearing somebody say that the teams make their schedules. So
I mean, they do
to a degree.
Yeah, like you'll go play when you play those lower teams, those lower conference teams. Those games are like put together between the two athletic directors.
Yeah,
two schools, those lower rank. But no, the Alabamas when you go to the big head powerhouse team, that's the competition committee.
Right, those are ESPN, the sponsor. Those is on TV.
Yeah,
And they won't have to deal with that next year because the playoffs are getting much bigger.
That is true.
It's true. But maybe, who knows?
As it being the last year for
rules.
that.
They're not just going to be the next person goes undefeated and then they still going to miss it. They still going to say we should make it more.
I know.
Well, right? I mean, you're not going to have like 12 people go undefeated, I guess.
Yeah, because it's 4 teams and they trying to expand it to 12, which it should have been that because that 4 teams is crazy. Anyway, let's just wrap up Jared Verse. I got
Can we see that? Can we see the highlight one more time? I want y'all to look at what he does to this LSU offensive. He takes him,
just runs him into.
God,
look, wait, I'm for the trade when it come up. I seen it again, and it just.
Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
No, not this one. Look, that's just man work. I'm finna show you the one. I think it's LSU.
Oh, the LSU game.
Oh my, like it's one of these ones, not this one right here. I think this one. Look what he does to him.
Oh God.
Oh my God. Look at him again. He's gonna do it again. Look. He shook him. He shook him. He shook him like shaking baby chicken. You put it in a bag. He just.
I like with him. He showed the strength, but he also showed the shiftiness and the handwork that he can come with. He had 9 sacks last season, 12.5 tackles for loss. Yeah. I do think he could be better in the run game, but that could be worked on. That's all I
run game is he's an edge. He's not up the middle. I mean he can help. I seen what he is and where he at, and like I said, if everybody do their job, I don't think that should be a red flag.
There are certain things that you can coach up a little bit.
Yes, he can get better. Of course, I'm just saying, like, is that something that we're like? It did not change my approach. If we're gonna go strictly and go 9, if he's there,
I just Latu's there.
See, my thing about Jared Verse.
I'd say
I like this next guy a little better.
I know.
I'm gonna kick it off.
I know.
I'm gonna kick it off.
Okay.
Dallas Turner out of Alabama. Now this is a physical. Now look, he dominated the combine. He dominated all the. He has the most physical, the best physical traits out of all of these dudes. The dude ran a 4.40. And like I said,
you don't care about that.
I don't care about that.
But no, go ahead.
The last 2 guys ran 1.6 10-yard splits. He beat their 10-yard splits by a full second. It matters. 1 point, not full second, but 10th of a second. 1.5 was his 10-yard split. The other guys we just looked at had 1.6 10-yard splits. Not to mention his 40 time is way better. His arms is the longest, 34 inches and 3/8. The other 2 guys we just looked at had 33 inches for Jared Verse and 32 inches for Laiatu Latu.
Mm-hmm.
This dude got 34-inch arms. He was I think he was a senior. I don't have that information. I should have had that information, but his thing is elite traits, and I'm looking for the clip. I thought I had the clip, and I do got the clip. His thing is elite traits. His elite traits is just different. You know what I mean? He's definitely not as polished as Jared Verse is, but when it comes to the NFL loves traits. They love what the Bears call it, that RAS score.
Yeah,
I had him as being heavier than those other 2. I had him at 270, but I got those numbers.
That's
like
almost
a couple months ago.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, no.
I got those numbers like a few months ago, so may not be the combine numbers that you may have.
Yeah.
Right, and
I got about like 240, 245, something around there as well. Atlanta. 6'4",
240. Yep.
I probably have different numbers.
Yeah. But
Go ahead. Take
no,
it
I
away,
was just gonna
Wes.
say what I liked about him outside of him, he just seems the most. I want to say he looks like he can handle both. Uh, I think it is.
You want to read that? You want to
Yeah.
read that?
Yeah, it said,
Wes?
isn't Dallas Turner's NFL comparison Khalil Mack? And I think it is. And I can't give him the nod in the sense of, Khalil is power, but he was
Khalil,
really patient.
Khalil's a dog. Yeah,
He was patient, and that's what I'm saying. He's just patient with it. He's like, I know. He's like, I know I'm gonna eat. He's like the lion at the pride. I know I can eat everybody in the plains and pride. Nobody runs the pride land better than a lion. And I think that's the kind of defensive mindset. The guy's like, yeah, okay, cool. I don't need a sack every time, but I'm gonna ruin your play some way, somehow. And I like that about him, and I see that. Like I said, I got down for him. I put down 4 traits for him: power, athleticism, motor, patience. He got the power, he got the athleticism. His motor never stops. As we see some of those plays, even when the ball got past the line of scrimmage, he was still running, around. And like I said, he's patient. He's just, like I said, he's the full disruption of your defensive play. Even if you get 3 yards, it could probably been a breakout yard. Could have been back almost 15, but he's still gonna keep going, and he keeps, keep that
the
motor
Bears
running.
love that. That hits
Yes,
philosophy.
look. That's the look at him. Look at him. Just look. Still going. He would have fell a long time ago. Look at him. Keep going. Just keep going. Just keep. Look, he's just gonna stay where I'm at. I'm gonna just really like. Yeah,
Justin Fields was on that 33rd team podcast with the St. Brown brothers, and they was talking about it like some of these D linemen be too thirsty for sacks. They're not patient. As soon as you run around that left, I'm going right through that gap you just left open when you was thirsty to try to come get me. Devin, what you got on Dallas Turner?
I like that how explosive he can be, but again, his patience helps even more. The fact that he can turn on the jets very quickly is a good sign because he sees that gap opening up or about to open up, and he can hit that gap faster than most other people out there. And one of the things I like, puts enough pressure that having Montez Sweat on the other side, it could really help both of them out. Like that's one of the things I felt like Montez Sweat did really well last year was other people started to get sacks just because he was putting pressure on. And if we can get somebody that puts pressure on both sides, then I think it really, really benefits the Bears' defense and ability to get more sacks.
Destin, man, I ain't see you last week, man. We had a great show last week, and we actually broke the trade news with Justin Fields last week. I ain't see you, Destin Posey. Hey, man, this is one of the first loyal the BlackBear podcast fans out there, man. He been riding with us since we started. So every time I get the chance to get his chat up there and chop it up with him, go back and forth with him, I'm gonna do that. He said that this edge is going to bring back the 85 monsters of the Midway. I'm calling it. We're going to need more depth at linebacker. We need younger guys. I agree. I definitely agree.
I mean, you know how I feel about our current linebackers.
Yeah.
That's Dallas Turner. I'm gonna get some of this. Do y'all got stats on him? I think I got some stats here.
I think
10 sacks. He had 10 sacks.
Yeah. 10 sacks.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said I got him at. I don't got his total. I don't think I put down his total, but I think I got him at like 28 solos, 10 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, no interceptions. But that's not why I'm bringing you to the Bears.
Right.
I'm bringing you to be that other side of Montez Sweat, cause that pocket to collapse, so those guys in coverage can get paid too. And like I said, Posey was just right.
For loss info?
No.
I don't got that either. I could probably Google it, but I'm not seeing it. It's fine. 10 sacks is not the most we've had. Jared Verse had more sacks than him, and no, he didn't. He had 9 sacks, but Laiatu Latu had fucking 13 sacks. He was a dog. So that's Dallas Turner. Let's move on to the next guy.
Real quick question, just
Yes, sir.
for everybody here. Would you guys be like? I know that we've talked about all of them all three of those edge rushers. Would you be happy with any one of those? Because I'll be honest with you, like I have my favorite, but any one of those guys I think would be a huge improvement to the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple more guys that I would consider too. Like, I mean, I got about 4 or 5 of them that I'm like, okay.
Oh wow, I'd love to hear at 9.
Dang.
We talking 9. We don't get to the trade back players, but we talking at 9, top 10 talent.
Top 10 talent. Yeah, I'll take any one of those easily.
And you like your favorite was Verse, right?
Yeah, I like Verse. I just like, I don't know, man. I just like how he looked. He just looked the eye test.
Garrett Verse. Devin, if you had to pick one of those 3 guys, who would you pick?
I'm going Latu.
Laiatu Latu.
I mean, I really like Verse too, but I liked the ability with Latu of defending against the rush and the pass, because even in this league being a more passing league, there are still teams that in the past, like even last year when we were a good rushing defense, we were fairly high up there, but there were still teams that just kind of ran all over us. And I'd like to have a guy that isn't a weakness in that area.
Oh man, this is hard for me. And Destin says pick up the offensive tackle. I can't spell his name. You either talking Joe Alt or Olufashanu. I don't think you're talking in any other.
I don't think he's talking Alt if he can't spell his name.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I don't know, man, fellas. It's a toss-up for me. I'm struggling between Dallas and Laiatu Latu. The only thing with Laiatu Latu is, for me personally, I think he's more of a linebacker, outside linebacker, than a defensive end. And when the Bears switched to Matt Eberflus, we switched from that 3-4 to that 4-3 defense, with your hand in the dirt. You know what I mean? Hand in the dirt.
Oh, I have the Dallas Turner's tackles for losses. Oh, wait, no, that's of his total career. Never mind. I was going to say, I was seeing 32.5. And if that was 1 year, that would have been crazy. But
he would have been a lot.
With Crimson Tide.
And what tempted me is because we're looking for edge rushers and all of those people we want to get to that quarterback, and that's their main priority of their job. Like I said, the run, having support in the run game is great, but I think Verse had like a 25% win rate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I mean, if you think about every down, I mean, you're going first through fourth down. I mean, he's getting to the quarterback one of those downs every time.
That's fair.
You see what I'm saying?
And then Dallas Turner, I'm stuck on Dallas Turner just because of his elite physical talent, and it works. Yeah. He had his way with dudes. Like, it was just so easy for him at Alabama because of his physical abilities. But if I'm gonna have to choose, go ahead, Devin.
I was just gonna say, I love that all 3 of us picked somebody different, just because it does show that like we all have different opinions on it, but I know that I respect the 2 of you guys' opinions, because those 2 guys too,
of course,
absolute dogs. That if they're there when we are picking at 9, absolutely would be fine with them taking one.
But see, this handwork by Laiatu Latu is crazy. That shit is insane to me. Let's move on. We got 2 more guys to look at. We're going to stick with edge before we get to that D tackle that's in a world of his own right now. Braylon Trice. He's a senior out of Washington. 245, 6'3.5" inches tall. His 40 time was a 4.7. The slowest out of all of them, but we don't care about that. His 10-yard split was a 1.6.
I got him at, I don't know, I think it was maybe ESPN, but I got him at like 270.
I had him at 274.
Like 270, 275. And when you look,
270 as an edge. Hold on.
that's what
I mean, I got his combine measurements up right here.
What the combine say?
He's definitely 245.
Interesting.
245, 6'3" and a half, 9-inch hands. Yeah, I got his combine shit up right here. 270 is heavy for edge though.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But then, like I said,
he would have had to switch positions.
Yeah, I looked at some video and tape on him. He looked like 270 though. Maybe he's 245. I don't know. Maybe we're big, but I don't know if you got some tape on him. You want to throw him up there real quick?
He ain't 270.
All right, I'm not saying that he is. I'm just saying I see him.
I just say I don't even want to hear two. That's big. That's huge for an edge.
Yeah.
No, take it away. Go jump into Braylon.
No. He was one of my kind of favorites after digging. After looking, like after hearing those three names, you're like, this who you gotta take, this who you gotta take. And I was like, okay, who else we got? Let me look at this. Let me look at some tape on him and size now. And I'm like, ooh.
Credit to you. You put me on him. I'm not. You put me on this dude.
I came in. I looked at him. I said, let me rewind. I said, let me find another highlight reel of him. Like, let me find another. Look, short chops. Look,
this will be one of your trade back candidates, correct?
Yeah, my first. That's a big dude. Look at. I mean, look. Oh, come on. He's bigger than the O line. That's what I'm saying. Look how big he is, man. Look, Caleb know him. That's like Caleb how much he weighs. Because I'm still. Look at that. Look at. Come on. You said he that close. Those offensive linemen got to be close to 300 pounds. He's wide as them.
He ain't 270. He ain't close to that. That's a big man at the edge.
Look at that.
God.
Look at him. Look at him. That's a big dude, man.
But he moving too. Oh my! Look, you just saw that. Oh my God!
I see what you're saying. Because when you hit 270 edge, you're like, how?
Yeah, you're not.
I mean, and I looked at him versus all of them. And I watched it. I'm looking. I checked a couple times. I don't think he's 245. Maybe he slimmed down for the combine. Maybe he trimmed down. Maybe he was
right.
And
all these numbers, they're definitely, they
fluctuate. They definitely get put on. But I can see him. I can see him being two.
His playing weight
is good.
Hey,
good for him. I think it'll be good for him.
Latu is 265, so
that's what I'm saying, right? See, so, I mean, and he's what 6'3", 6'4"?
6'3". Yep.
And I'll tell you, I was watching him, and I said, I looked and I said, I don't know why we're not talking about him. Why he not in that conversation? Why he not a possibility? What if we don't get one of those top three? What if some anomaly happens? Those are top three. Everybody gonna be looking for that. Need somebody on their line.
Like you said, trade back candidate.
Very big trade back candidate, man. And I liked him. I think he encompassed a lot of things. Like I said, I think he had that size. If you saw some of the way he moved, he was really diverse. He wasn't just doing you seen him a little bit everywhere, doing a little bit of everything, using his hands, using his powers, using other players. If you've seen some of those where he was just pushing other linemen into the person that was supposed to be blocking him just to get past. I thought his mindset of how he's coming off that edge was great. He had a good motor. You see him just constantly going. And I put down power and speed in one. I wouldn't call him athletic. I would say he has that two, that 1 and 2, that power, that speed. Power, speed. And he gets up.
So what I got for Braylon Trice? Can y'all fellas hear me?
Yeah, well, I'm here. I'm just watching.
Oh, okay, yeah. My connection tripping, but not what I got. But this is what they say about him. He was a team captain with good size, who is well liked by his teammates and his coaching staff. Trice isn't going to be the most skilled edge defender, but he parlays urgency and effort into impressive production. He carries a thick frame, but lacks juice as an edge rusher. and fails to stack and control tackles as a run defender. He's a better fit in gaming fronts that allow him to play on the move, but he might lack the athleticism and explosiveness needed to carry his production to the next level. Trice's try-hard demeanor and play strength give him a chance to become a decent backup defensive end in a 4-3 defense, which the Chicago Bears run a 4-3 defense. He's a try hard. You can see it. Let me put it back up. You can see his effort. His effort is below none. He puts. Look at this.
Yeah.
Which that swim move killed.
That was nasty. That was nasty. Look at that.
I love watching these dudes because you can
look.
It's their highlight plays, but you can see the difference. You know what I mean? You can see the difference.
Just take you could just watch and see how different everyone is.
Mm-hmm.
I know Devin brought up, I think it was Verse, how he can I think he was saying how he can overshoot when he's coming off that edge and kind of get eliminated from that run game. Not with him. You see what I mean? Like he got that a lot of you see some of those where he just completely stops moving. You think he's gonna go fast and he just stops. And then he turns and goes, see right there. He just stopped and turned and went a different direction quick. You know what I mean? And maybe I'm not a defensive line coach, and maybe a lot of that is true and refined. A backup, I guess starting out in the league, I could see, maybe, but I don't see why he can't come in the league, on some team that really needs some help on that. Hits, mama, hits.
Hits philosophy, and Braylon,
he brings that, and that's why I said, I saw him. I went through probably 30 defensive tackles that could be drafted right now, and
30 in a weak defensive tackle class.
Yeah, that's how we all of them. Every possible one that could possibly come out.
You saw Byron Murphy too, huh?
Yeah.
I was looking at Byron Murphy.
I said, I'm thinking, what if we don't? What if we trade back? And I went through what everybody could pick, what we can find them at if we did want to draft him, all the way down to fourth. But that's neither here nor there. But like I said, I liked him. He was my favorite outside of the stars of them all. But yeah, Devin, what did you see that you liked about him?
Well, I didn't really look into him as much, but based on what I see, the concept of him coming in and being a good backup, honestly, with the Bears, anybody that we bring in would be a solid case to start. Even if they have
for us.
Yeah, sure, even if they have the talent of what some would say is a backup. Like you could say behind Montez Sweat, he could be a backup. Sure.
Right.
But we don't have two Montez Sweats, one on each side. So I mean, one of the nice things about the trade back scenario and picking up this guy, you don't necessarily need to have two Montez Sweats on each side. You can have a Montez Sweat and another guy that just causes pressure. Yeah. And if you have somebody just there actively spoiling the causing pressure, worrying the quarterback and stuff like that, you get them to make the mistakes. Like our guy opposite of Sweat this year, I can't even remember who it was, but once we got Sweat, he got a few sacks in there, and he wasn't causing much pressure beforehand.
Yeah.
Yannick Ngakoue or whatever, something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, we all know Montez made the defense better. It's a ripple effect, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Just imagine putting two ripples. And that's why I'm not that's why I'm just looking for that. And I really just focused on it. I didn't try to take into account too much of the when we was talking about these edges, even just the defensive line as the run game per se, because that's a more of a team kind of linebacker.
Fill your gaps
kind of thing.
Defensive
and
tackles.
That's not what I'm drafting at this pick. I'm drafting somebody to shrink that pocket.
Right.
To help shrink that pocket. I got one person on one side pushing that circle in. I need that other side just to push it in and to cause that pressure. Yannick Ngakoue, you right, Pose. And that's what I'm looking for. Everything else, like you said, Marcus, we can work on the rest of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We can work on the rest of the run stuff. We can work on that. We can work on size. We want you to be lighter. We want you to be heavier. We can work on that. We can work on getting the speed up. We can work on that. We can work with that.
And that's the thing.
Yeah,
these dudes gonna get their NFL body. They don't got their NFL body right now. You know what I mean?
They gonna hit puberty.
Yeah, the NFL, the NFL trainers gonna give them dude, that you snap. I ain't gonna lie, you fucking snap.
I'm mad I ain't watching. I
West.
cooked last night and I got the flour and stuff. I wiped on it. That's why I was like,
That's gonna need to be your Twitter handle or something. Once you know. We got one more guy to take a look at. And it's the cream of the crop for defensive tackles in this draft. My only thing with this is I think the Chicago Bears like Javon Dexter and Zach Pickens. I think they like those boys. I think they're going to give them, especially with Justin Jones leaving for Arizona Cardinals, I think they're going to give them boys a chance to make names for themselves. But I do think this guy we about to look at right now is better than both of them. Hey, I wasn't high on Javon Dexter. When we picked Javon Dexter, I was like, whoa. And then I looked at him. I'm like, whoa, this dude is slow. I made reels on it. I'm like, this dude is fucking slow. But the guy I'm talking about right now is Jerzon Newton, a.k.a. Johnny Newton, a.k.a. Johnny Brothers, a.k.a. whatever. You know, he got a lot of a.k.a.s.
Right, homegrown, home-fed.
Destin said, one thing I don't like about our recent offseason is the fact that Poles love signing former Packers. How do y'all feel about that last signing? Is he talking Jonathan Owens?
Yeah.
Are you talking Jonathan Owens? If you talking Jonathan Owens, we talked about that last week, and we ain't feeling it.
We gave him his flowers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like he's a player that's going to affect us in any way. But
I don't mind.
He said, he talking about Owens.
Yeah, I don't mind taking Packers players. It's not like I hate the players. So
I mind it. We don't need them.
My whole thing is, if that's the best you could do, then okay, I can understand that much.
Cool. Right. If it's a dog, you know, when we signed Jared Allen.
Yeah, something like you know what I mean? Yeah.
But Jonathan Owens is a depth piece. We could have got depth from anywhere in the league.
Like I said,
you know what I mean?
Like I said, I don't know.
Maybe he's gonna give us some secrets, some Packer secrets.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. My whole thing is, am I opposed to it? Not necessarily. I'm just not. It's like the Chicago Cubs. You know, I'm from Chicago, but I'm a Sox fan, so I got all the love, for the Cubs. Like, if they do well, they do well. That's fine. If you come over here from the Packers and they do well and they do their job, and then we fine. Like Luke Getsy. If Luke Getsy would have came in and made the offense look better and seem better and do better, I would have nothing, really much to say about Luke Getsy. But since
can y'all boys hear me?
We can hear you now.
I just can't see me.
You cutting in and out as far as like your video.
Yeah, you can't see me though, right?
Yeah, no, I can't see you.
All right.
But yeah, just to go into that, to continue with the whole Packer thing. Let's see if he can get his video back up. I don't have no problem with it as long as you're doing your job and doing what you're supposed to do. Don't come over like he was just saying, giving us the Packer secret or whatever. Don't come over here and not do nothing. That's just that's. Then I'm gonna stop liking you as a player. No matter what you play with, I'll probably always root against you.
Kind of like Luke Getsy. A lot of people were saying last year, towards the end of the year, he was some secret Packer. Yeah. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but at the same time, you really can't know what's going on, and so kind of makes you concerned about taking that risk.
Yeah, it could be.
But like these people are professionals.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and that's another thing, and that's why I said, like, am I opposed to it? Not at all. If it's going to better the team, would that be the first place I go looking for talent? Probably not. I'm
with you there,
but I know he got go ahead.
I was gonna say though, it's not like, to be honest, it's not like the Packers are a terrible team. It'd be like if you're going to like the Carolina Panthers for offensive line help, then you crazy.
Right.
So like if you're looking at the Packers for an area where they excel and you're taking a player away from them there, then I kind of understand.
Definitely.
But at the same, like you said, if they come and they play and they do their job for us, I don't hold nothing against anybody for playing on the Packers except for like maybe Aaron Rodgers because of how he acted towards the Chicago Bears.
Yeah,
So
I really don't like Aaron Rodgers at all.
I don't like him as a person. But I feel like if he were on the Bears, I still might be a little suspect on that.
I honestly, I know this is gonna sound crazy, and this is just tell you how much. And I'm trying to be, a good person on this live and not let the world see like a negative side of me. I know I'm bubbly, I'm nice, and all that kind of stuff, but I fucking hate Aaron Rodgers, dude. Like, even if I had to choose to win the next 10 Super Bowls with Aaron Rodgers and not, I honestly would prefer not to. It's that kind of thing. Like, what would you, how far? What would you do for money? You know what I mean? How much money would it cost, or how much would I have to pay you to kill like a loved one, or how much money I would have to give you to do something that's against your moral and your core values in life and all that kind of stuff.
And that's what Aaron Rodgers is against your core values.
He goes how y'all get back to Aaron Rodgers? I leave for 1 second and we'll talk about the quarterbacks again.
No, we were just talking about Packer players and them coming over and who we okay with and all this kind of stuff. And honestly, I told him, if I had to choose between winning the next 10 Super Bowls for the Chicago Bears with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback versus not, I would rather not.
Oh my God. Oh,
I fucking hate Aaron Rodgers so much.
Oh man.
And I said that's personal. That's personal.
It's definitely personal. It really got personal when he said I own you. When he said that shit.
Oh, it's all about that for me. Yeah.
Y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really got personal when he said that I own you, but he said the next 10 Super Bowls.
You know how bad it is? I was talking to a buddy of mine who's a Raiders fan. And when I was talking to him about it, he legitimately thought that Aaron Rodgers was a part owner of the Chicago Bears. And he has thought that for a while now because of how much it gets said. And I'm like, at that point, that's what gets me pissed off and stuff, because you get to a certain point where it goes further than just kind of like jawing at each other and stuff like that. Like, to be fair, the rivalry between the Bears and the Packers is very deep and it's a very long rivalry. But when you have it go so far that players of other or fans of other teams legitimately think that another quarterback for a different team is a part owner of your team just because of him saying that all the time, it goes too far for me.
Yeah, that look, like I said, I just popped back in and he said he not taking Aaron Rodgers even if he gonna give us the next 10 Super Bowls. I disagree. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. I love to win.
It'd be a difficult 10-year stance for me as a Bears fan, but I would find another player that I liked enough to support the franchise and that I would enjoy seeing. While you wouldn't see me going out and buying an Aaron Rodgers jersey for playing for the Bears.
That's crazy. Look, everybody fans how they want to fan. That's why I hate when people try to like criticize fans for feeling the way about Justin or feeling the way about Caleb. People gonna fan how they fan. We got one more player to move on to. We gonna get this player broken down and we gonna get up out of here. Jerzon Newton. Jerzon Newton is he's a beast. He's a beast. Y'all can see it. He is the top defensive tackle in this draft, and I gotta pull up my notes on him again. Chef West, you wanted to take it over for
Jerzon
Newton real quick?
Let's just call him Johnny Newton. let's not murder his name. Let's just call him Johnny Newton. I think I got him like
Johnny.
26 solo tackles, 7.5
Jerzon. It's
sacks.
Jerzon. What you mean?
Is it
Jerzon.
Jerzon? I mean,
he also goes by
but
Johnny.
Yeah, like you said, Johnny.
That's what I was gonna say. I didn't understand it. I don't know. I thought it was a typo.
I thought they were two different people, to be honest, when I was looking them up.
Yeah, man, that was crazy.
I'm like,
but yeah, you
Illinois
talk
had
about
both of these guys.
yeah, you talk about a guy that's built already, like just in. I mean, like physically, ain't no they're physically ready for the NFL. This is what I look at. This guy is nice. He's big. He's strong. Man, if you look at some of this, the way he's just like parting these guys and moving these guys around,
right.
I also see like some patience in his game too a little bit. You could tell he's not just he maybe he's lacked some technique, but I think it's more he's one of those guys. Like I said, I don't know, I want to keep saying the same thing. I think I put him up there simply because I can see his development in the future of, being in the league and being a part of having that Bears defensive mindset. That I think it was Post said Monsters on the Midway may be back. This is one of those guys, he played in Illinois, so he can play in that Chicago Bears weather on them really cold days. He can play.
He used to it.
He's used to it.
He better be used to it.
Yeah, he's pretty used to it. Just look. He's just, God, dude.
This is a D tackle. Every other player we talked about were edges. This y'all seeing is a D
defense.
Tackle.
Look at him. Just look at him. Just look at him. Look
He
like
can
right there.
move.
You see that? Did you see that right there? That last clip, that push, and then we saw him come out, how he just opened the door on Buddy and then hit the speed with it. Like I said, like that's impressive. That motor is what I'm talking about. Not giving up on those plays and just getting after the ball.
Newton, 6'2", senior out of Illinois, 304 pounds. That is a D tackle. That's a big man. 32-inch arms though, a little short on the length. Like I said, he also goes by Johnny. Let's see what I got. He was first team Associated Press All-American, Big Ten Conference. Big Ten. I follow the Big Ten heavy. That's really the only conference I watch. Big Ten Conference Defensive Player of the Year. First team All Big Ten finalist for the how do you say that? For the top defender, Nagurski. Yeah. The Nagurski Trophy, which is essentially the Defensive Player of the Year for the entire NCAA. He was a finalist for that. He led the team with 7.5 sacks from the D tackle spot, which is big. Led the FBS with a school record of 4 block kicks.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. That is wild. He had 8.5 tackles for loss and 2 pass breakups and 1 forced fumble. Johnny Newton is definitely the best defensive tackle in this draft. If you were going there, like I said before we started talking about him, I think Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus gonna give those young boys they drafted last year, Javon Dexter, and Zach Pickens, they gonna give them a chance to actually, show what they can do. But if we were still if we didn't have 2 young prospects, they're taking him in. They're getting him in the what, second round?
I got him 60th, second round, 60th pick possibly.
60th pick.
I think that's what.
I think that might be a steal.
Yeah, and I've seen it fluctuate up and down, and I even looked at some fan drafts just to see if everybody else was looking at it, and a lot of people actually is putting them in there, and like I said, that's a steal. I mean, I seen him as low as high third round. If he gets down to the third round, then it's just like we need to reevaluate how we are doing.
How we reevaluate how we evaluate
the league. Somebody needs to be fined. There should be penalties because, like I said, this guy is ready. He's day one ready. Just like he was. I think he was talking about I mean, maybe we was talking about Trice or something that they gave him the whole might be a backup kind of thing. Not this
Yeah,
guy.
the NFL.
Yeah.
That was NFL Network's evaluation.
Yeah, not this guy though. This guy is today ready. Look at that. Look at that man. Can't even.
Today.
He ain't even. Look, man. That's a big man. It ain't a jersey big enough for that dude. That man is big. That man is fast, and that man can play. And like I said, this is when I put my chef hat on and my apron and everything, and we talk about trading back and really building this league and maximizing the talent that's in this draft.
We got to make Chef West a segment, man.
Yeah,
Like maybe
man.
you go 5 minutes and you just cooking on a topic or something. Yeah, my boy.
But yeah,
That's
man, that's just my whole thing. It's like I said, that's my. If I want to do right by the Chicago Bears organization, as opposed to just kind of do, go that route. I would still keep cooking. I see how much we got next season. I'll just be flipping these picks and getting this talent and bringing all these guys in. Cause honestly, with this talent and what we can get next year, what we got right now, all that kind of stuff. I mean, like I said,
the future is bright.
Johnny Newton. Devin, do you got anything else on Johnny Newton that we haven't said yet?
Now, one of the things that I liked about him is at his position, you definitely do need to be good at both the pass rush and defending against the run. And he is very good at both. So throwing that in there, along with one of the things that I felt like watching his film and stuff like that, is that he's very good at creating sack attempts for other players.
Mm-hmm.
And so he puts other people in a better position to get the sack. And it's one of those situations that those types of things don't always necessarily like play out on the stat sheet. So for the people that only look at stats without watching the actual games, they're not going to see that as well, because he's the type of player that puts your QB in a position where maybe he runs out to the side a little bit more and then gets sacked by one of your edges.
Mm-hmm.
And so having a player like that, and I think I saw that he would be a good fit for 3-tech for us. And having a good player in that position would really benefit our defense.
The most important position on the Bears defensive line with that 4-3 scheme is the 3-tech. You need to collapse that pocket from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, Johnny Newton to do that.
Newton ain't no stepping up. You step up, you stepping into that pass.
Exactly.
Your goose is cooked. Like you
now,
are done.
If we could get him as well as one of the edges, I would be very happy with that.
Yeah.
I would be very I mean, I know it's very unlikely, but if we could do something like that, our defensive line would just not only set up themselves to get a whole bunch of sacks, but set up our defensive backs in the back there to just pick off left and right, missed passes, tipped passes, very good at doing all that type of stuff, and just blocked kicks. It's like,
yeah. I mean,
wow.
TJ gonna eat, Tremaine gonna eat. It's like we talking about like them collapsing the pocket and all of those things, and just being good enough to be a distraction. That's what Montez Sweat really brought. That's why he had so much. It was the distraction of him made our defense so much better, way better. Just to know he's right there. Just that
they have to hurry up now.
Yeah, you have to hurry. You have to. Hey, look, it's like Aaron Donald. Like I don't care. Okay, who else is on the field on that defense? We got Aaron Donald. Like I don't think a defensive coordinator is like, oh man, they might. They they're gonna blitz the corners, and I was like, before they even think about picking up blitzes and all that, can we get like 5 people over here to block Aaron Donald?